For this outdoor journey, I completed 2 paintings. Both demonstrations will show you the colours and techniques I have used. The Graphitint pencils are a safer and a controlled method where the colours dry very fast and are great for sketching outdoors, while the other is painted with speed and needs a prepared colour mixture and time to dry. Both have been drawn and painted outdoors. I hope you learn from the process and not take it too seriously. Choose your own shades and be free with your strokes. I've been using Graphitint colouring pencils for a while, and through experimenting I've found various techniques and ways of using them. If you colour onto the watercolour paper lightly and brush over with water, it can display a transparent layer of colour with a little grainy effect. When area of the paper is covered with more pressure from the pencil, the pigment can be steered with the wet brush in the direction you want, and like paint you can create an outline around the area of colour. My initial plan is to use Graphitint pencils in the shade of the tree trunk. I've used ivy, cool brown and meadow. These pencil crayons, when dry, imitate the texture quite effectively. As I've learnt, the heavier the pencil is applied, the darker the shade. However, this tree has been lightly and fairly shaded in. After dipping the small brush in some water, the colour became a light wash, which was blended and spread out. For the watercolour piece, colours have been put in each section of the palette, mixed with water enough to dunk your brush in ready to apply. The colour mixture can be tested to check the right strength, and then you are ready to paint. If the colour has been applied on the paper once, it will still hold the transparency. However, glazing where the first coat is laid with more colour can look very interesting too. I just avoid too much blending when it's dried or when mixing the colours too much while it's wet. What this can do is make the colours appear muddy. Pigments and chemicals, when in contact with fluid, intermingle in their own way and create some fantastic texture and patterns. I love this process. It kind of replicates the pattern and the texture of the bark. Why do I draw trees? Well, you can always apply more colours than you see compared to just applying one shade of green and brown. The texture is also interesting, and the subject is still, and every tree is unique. For example, this tree trunk I'm drawing at the moment has only 2 to 3 shades of colour, but I have added half a dozen shades that run into each other. So I've mixed shades of green, red, turquoise and cool shades of brown. I've started painting quite quickly onto the paper. Colours bleed into each other this way and don't have a hard edge. I know it can be quite difficult painting outdoors and under the spotlight, especially when people start watching, but after a while the focus changes from what you see and hear around you to what you are creating in front of you. There's more movement and colour visible when observing outdoors, in contrast to using a photo for inspiration, which can give a flat impression. I've realised When you're painting, taking time on the detail and the planning process makes all the difference. What I've experienced when publishing my work on YouTube is that it takes just as long to edit as it takes drawing and painting the subject, and I'm afraid over time this speedy process will affect the quality of my work when produced, so I will be slightly changing my method and video techniques in the near future. Fingers crossed. Making sure time is spent on the quality of the drawing and painting so it reflects my skills and talent. Hope you enjoy watching the rest of the clip.